with Teddy, I didn't realize what a kind of are we okay? We couldn't, I'm sorry. With Teddy, I didn't really appreciate that he was kind of this, somewhat of an icon in this community. And then the more I got to know him, his writing, his scrapbooking, his paintings. I've got beautiful paintings of Teddy's hanging in my home in New York. And we went to shoot a film one time, and this is another window into Teddy. He didn't, when I mentioned that thing about the painting, he didn't draw a lot of attention to himself, which is unusual in my business, and he was very quiet, very peaceful, very humble. And one time we were shooting a movie up in Canada in 1996, and we were there, and we were based in this village outside of Calgary called Canmore. I don't know if you know Canmore in Alberta. We were in Canmore, and when we were up there in the fall, and the weather went from being like 75 degrees and you had to wear bug repellent, and by the time we finished in Edmonton, it was 20 below zero. So we experienced a 95-degree temperature change in the 3 months we were there, and everybody kind of lost their marbles. Like the people on the crew that were married, and they went and found a girlfriend. Like the area was so beautiful and so beguiling. And this is classic Teddy. He turned to me at one point, like 3 people I knew on the movie who I thought were happily married, like met a woman and they were going to move there and leave their family and move to Canmore. And Teddy one day, in his metaphysical way, he looked at me and goes, "Well, Alec, you realize when you rearrange the letters of Canmore, it spells romance." And that was Teddy. Teddy could see what was really going on in the metaphysical layer of what was happening. But again, Teddy was somebody who we worked together for over 10 years, and I made a lot of films with him, and then lost touch with him for quite a while when he moved up here permanently and worked in LA less. But as I said, the greatest lesson of Teddy's life was to explore the people around you, really get to know them. I didn't know Teddy until, like a year or 2 into knowing him, then this whole side of him was revealed to me, this whole magical side of him. And as we all know, I want to throw up when people use the word magical to describe somebody who isn't, My friend will say to me, I'm dating this woman, she's so magical, I'm like, really? She's magical? I'm like, okay. Don't go into detail of how magical she is. I don't think I want to know. I get what you're saying. She's magical. And I'm like, oh, that. Okay, great. But Teddy was magical. Let's just have a round of applause for how magical Teddy really was. So now I'm going to. Where are those guys? Where are they? I'm going to bring out the Peterson brothers. Let's hear it for the Peterson brothers. Woo! You guys, before we do a plug for your restaurants, is there something you want to say about Teddy?
Teddy was a really good friend of ours, and we put together a little video with Isaac Olson that we'll show here in a little bit. But happy to be here, and I'm sure Teddy would be super proud of this whole event. So.
Go right ahead.
He actually designed our first shirt for our restaurant, which I wore today.
You all know this shirt. It's a classic. It's a classic.
We brought a little gift for Alec, to welcome him to Tacoma.
What might that be? What do you got?
Buy one, get one free sandwich at 1111.
Oh, there we go, baby. Next time you're in Tacoma, visit the Peterson brothers for a buy one, get one free sandwich, or, wait a second, we're not done then. Or you can go to the Valley or Peaks and Pints for a free bottle of hand sanitizer. A free mini bottle of hand sanitizer with every purchase at Peaks and Pints. Let's sing the song, fellas. Let's sing the song. The Peterson brothers, no good food. So you won't throw up on your shoes. Yeah. Peterson Brothers.
I think the movie's getting going here in just a second. Over there.
Welcome, Teddy Haggerty, artist. Well, tell me about this picture.
Well, this is that's an old girlfriend of mine,
Oh, really?
and it's sort of a happy, sad scene. Yeah.
Now, what's this right here?
I was down in Palm Springs last month. It's about 115 degrees, so I was hanging out at a real nice condo right across from the Betty Ford Center.
Now, I noticed behind you, you've got a leather jacket.
Well, this is for an actress who's a fan of mine.
Well, let's hold it up so
Sure.
we can all see it.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
It's an actress. Her name's
Right.
Pam. She's got a series on CBS right now.
You know, sometimes it's good not to see, so you can abstract things. You don't want to get confused by what's visual. You want to go with something more internal. But other times, it's best to be able to see and not be blindfolded to see what you're into.
Now this guy is on LSD in front of us, I think. Oh, what am I? Am I on Mars or on the moon, or am I just driving my Dodge? LSD driving is this. We have a kind of newer. Oh, it was scary. It was frightening. It frightened me.
Okay, now, Haggerty twins, I think we have two serious ones here. I can't believe this. This is getting really hot. Soundtech, where are you? Here he is, the offspring of Jabba the Hutt. Okay.
So you want to get married?
Make your intentions known.
So you want to get married? You don't have to propose. There's nothing wrong with being lonely. Let the whole world know that perfect guy, that perfect girl is waiting for you. So Bill.
This has got me excited. It's got me boiling. Watch it. It's got my cord. I'm gonna die.
Hey, pal. Buddy, I'll sell you a smoke.
Oh, yeah? How much?
Standard rate, $1 a butt.
You out of your freaking mind?
No.
All right.
Step over there, please. Dad's found a way of making some money while relaxing, which is grand.
Well, I thought Charles that you were talking about me. You concerned yourself about my courting habits.
We were. That's the one. They've been trying to get me to court. Atomic power? I'll take 30 men.
You, Mr. Bryan, my marital status is none of your business.
Prepare to fall Yes, I know. That hardly seems like enough.
Come on, Jason, let's get out of here.
My love, my darling, I hunger for your touch. A long, lonely time, and time goes by so slowly for those who need a touch. I need your love. I need your love. Godspeed.
Let's hear it. I know you guys are blown away by that movie, but shake it off, baby, and let's have a round of applause for the greatest documentary you've ever seen in your life at a memorial service. Let's hear it for Don Wilson from The Ventures.
How you doing, everybody? Okay? All right.
How you doing?
I have known Teddy for a number of years, and one of the nicest people I know, I can tell you that. He's really great, and I really good friends with him, and he's a wonderful guy. All right, let's hear it for Teddy. Come on. All right.
I do think it's kind of strange that the painters are singing and the singers are painting at this memorial service. I find that upsetting. I'm going to read a little something for you. I'm going to read a piece that was written by Teddy, and this is called, thank you so much, I'm going to read this for you quickly. It's called, Why Do You Paint Like That? Why do you paint like that? The dedication reads, my art heroes, Augustus Charles Barnett, Warren Pope, Dan Richbold, and my mom, Mrs. L. Hattie Haggerty. For special thanks, let's hear it for the Moose. With special thanks to Bruce Lyle Paulson. Why do you paint like that? 1958, the kindergarten teacher at Lewis Clark School in Great Falls, Montana, gave us several large coffee cans of broken crayons and big sheets of newsprint we drew on the floor. It was magic, it was art. Art discovered me, or I discovered art. When we were supposed to take our nap, I'd set up near the crayon cans, and instead of sleeping, I'd secretly draw. The first drawing I ever did was this, a large flying dachshund urinating on the people below. It made me very happy. It still does. I still get jazzed up when I draw or paint or think of art, and then when art takes me, we go for a ride or maybe a brief fly through the sky. I love art. I love art. I love art. The art you do becomes your children. My art children have been good to me, making me happy, keeping me amused. I like them to have good homes. I can't keep them all. Oh, wow. In third grade in Colorado Springs, Colorado, at Mark Twain School, we drew people and trees. My people didn't look like the people I drew, but I liked the art anyway. I didn't care what it looked like. The teacher thought so too, and my artwork usually went on display. Most kids get discouraged if they couldn't make a tree look like a tree or a person look like a person. They quit, they give up, they beat themselves up. I made a Virgin Mary at Lewis and Clark School. It went on display for parent-teacher-student night. My mother was very proud of me. The teacher was telling my mom what a good artist I was. I got embarrassed and said something like, "Mom!" I can still see Mary. She was a very beautiful blue clay figure. I always make fake dentures for my father out of clay. When we worked in clay, I would put in a tongue and paint it all red and white. I give it to my father for a Christmas present. I gave him 4 or 5 sets of dentures over the years. I paint and draw because I like to. It usually comes over me, although I can do it even if I don't feel like it, except when I'm too tired. Salvador Dali is my favorite artist. I was probably 12 when I saw a book of his work. Even thought my art was my best girlfriend. I didn't know art until I saw Dali. Dali was art. If Dali is art, then Bukowski is words. I read Bukowski in '71 and wrote him. He wrote me back. I like the way he drew birds. I shamelessly copied the way he drew birds. I drove Bukowski around in 1975. He said I was his biggest groupie. Last time I saw him, my brother Leonard and I were helping him down 5 flights of stairs in Canada. He was drunk, calling us phonies, and trying to deck us. Bukowski was my favorite author. I draw hearts because I like the form, and saw a bunch of Jim Dine's work in New York City on a field trip in 1968. I was in the 10th grade at Washingtonville High School in Washingtonville, New York. Sometimes people think my hearts are girls' rear ends. The first non-Bukowski birds I drew were large, awkward things. I was trying to draw flamingos. I couldn't. They looked more like cranes. I started drawing cranes, Washington State whooping cranes, cranes indigenous to the state of Washington. I did my first big birds on Pam Livingston's birthday. I didn't know then, but a million years later, Pam wanted that painting and noticed the date on the painting was her birthday. Art is coincidence. Art is synchronicity. Art is a dog going wee wee on your head. I wasn't always happy with my art. I get the kids who beat themselves up especially. I get like the kids who beat themselves up, especially if I tried new things. I was at the Evergreen State College trying to make monotypes. I'd throw the stuff away, not liking it, getting frustrated, being stupid. I was also reading Henry Miller's essays on art. I think it was, "To paint is to love again." Miller said, "Paint as you like and die happy." It's sunk in. I stopped throwing stuff away. It's supposed to be that way, I tell myself, when I started to hate it. I finished the monotype series, Sheet of Counterfeit Love. Much to my surprise, people loved stuff I hated. My redheaded stepchildren found loving homes. When I had a crush on a girl, I'd want to draw and paint. I'd give her a drawing, not being very good at romance stuff. It worked more than it didn't. I'm still not very good with romance, but the art has gotten better. This knockout, gorgeous waitress I liked drooling over. I'm going to say that again. This knockout, gorgeous waitress I liked drooling over asked if I drew mermaids. As I started to poo-poo mermaids as a silly subject matter, she said, "I'd like to pay you to paint me naked as a mermaid when my boyfriend goes away." Teddy! "I'd like to pay you to paint me naked as a mermaid when my boyfriend goes away." I scribbled out a mermaid as fast as I could on a coaster, rapidly explaining to her how I'd done mermaids for a long time. I've been doing mermaids for a long time. I drew naked people for 2 years in college. One time I looked up at the model and she was a friend. We were both embarrassed. After I drew her, she came back over to look. "My rear end is not that fat. And my boobs are a lot bigger," she said. "You can't win." I'll draw on anything: cars, sacks, sheets, walls, furniture, clothes. I like them all, and someday I'm going to paint on a bunch of cows. I tell you why I paint flying saucers, but that's a secret. 10:52 p.m. Swiss Tavern, Tacoma, Washington. This book was written. This book was written in the Swiss Tavern while hanging out with Bruce Paulson and feeling the good vibes of the early Swiss immigrants that came here with hope and great expectations. Thank you all very much and good night.
Okay, let's give it up for Alec Baldwin. Ted really did know him. And again, I'm blown away by how many people are here and how many happy faces, and it does my heart good. It's been a tough time for me, as you can well imagine. So I'm not going to get emotional now. But what I'm going to do is bring up Second Cycle. So Alec had reached out and wanted us to have a charity here that Teddy would have liked. And Noah knows Teddy. I think everybody knows Teddy. But they do some good work. Noah's going to come up and talk about it. They have a booth over there. We think it's a real good thing for Tacoma at the Hilltop. Let's give it up for Second Cycle, Noah.